Hello again, it's Noob, and quite some time ago now, I got this lock from my friends for my birthday. It's a lovely all bronze Yale padlock made for Esso for their petrol pumps quite some time ago. You see, it's had a life, definitely been dropped on the floor a few times, and there's no key for it, which yeah, it's a bit annoying. But I do have a blank, and it does fit very nicely indeed. So it makes me think that I should probably have a go at impressioning a key for this. And I'd like to document the progress. Now, I'm not a brilliant key impressioner, so this could take me somewhere over half an hour, maybe even an hour to do if I take my time. And the important thing is for somebody who's not confident at it is to take the time. But I'll try to document the process. Essentially, key impressioning relies on the fact that, just like lockpicking, you turn the plug or the core of the lock, and one or more of the pins will bind. That essentially means that they will, become stiff and resistant as they bind between the Bible and the core itself. If you wiggle the key up and down under some force, then you can sometimes get a very small, tiny little dot on the surface of the key. That gives you a chance then to file a couple of strokes of a good file. Got these nice Barco ones. And you keep going until you finally impression the key. The idea being, of course, is that once you have the correct depth of bitting on the key, the pins themselves free up and they no longer provide a heavy marking on the surface of the blank. Now I've got some brass blanks because they are just so much better to work with than the steel or aluminium or whatever else alloy ones you get out there. Okay, so what do I need? Well, I need the lock itself. I need a blank key, preferably 4 or 5 because I'm bound to break one. If you can get a pip-in file, a nice proper teardrop shaped one, that's best, but I've got a nice round file here. If I need to file off the edges, then I'll go with a half round file just to file it down. Otherwise you end up canyoning. Essentially what you end up doing is you end up trapping the blank in the lock where a pin is in a groove too deep and too high-sided for it to actually come out of. Very, very bad news, that one. And a nice big pair of vice grips. Okay, right, I'm going to... I've done other videos, there's lots of other videos on key impressioning, so I'm not going to really give you a one-on-one key impressioning, but I'm just going to try and document the process. Oh, actually, one of my important bits is some good quality, sort of high grit paper just to sand down where I've been filing to provide a smoother surface for me to see the impressioning marks. Okay, right, let's have a go at this. Okay, let's start. So the first thing to do is it's actually to just flat off the surface of the key and then give it a rub with some sandpaper. The idea is what you want to start with is a smooth surface so that you can see the first impressions. This is actually a really good quality sandpaper, this one. Or wet and dry paper, I should say. Okay, that should do. You don't have to go crazy over this. Second thing is to get some good quality vice grips, and again, and just place them just by the bow. You can get impressioning grips, and if you do this a lot, I would definitely suggest you use those. Probably do a little bit tighter on this actually. You want it to be a tight grip, but not too tight. That will do. Right. And the first thing to do is to try and get some impressions on the key. So you turn it and wiggle it up and down as much as you can. Let's have a look here. And yeah, can you see that? I'm sure you can. In the right light, very hard to see on camera because of the way things are, but you should be able to see there are some markings along the key. Trying to get it as an angle through the camera. Oh yeah, you can see them there. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm going to do is just get a marker pen, and I'm just going to make some little dots on there so that you can see where they are, and draw some lines down. That'll keep my filing nice and straight as well. So here we are. So just having a look through here, I can see a mark there, there, and here. And you've got to say that is pretty evenly spaced, so I know that they are the markings of the pins. And I'm just going to draw a line down, roughly like this. Hopefully it won't go deeper than this, so I'm just going to go to the bit of warding. See that? It doesn't have to be particularly straight, although ideally it would be. Right, and now I can file off the top and we can start the impressioning process. Okay, so again, getting the light right is very hard, but I think you should be able to see that there is a definite marking on here on the inside. Try and get a good angle for you. There's a very sort of little mark here on the tip. Can you just see there? Yeah, that's a good angle. Where my fingernail is, just there, a little mark. There's another mark down in here, which means that they need to be filed off. Not very much, just a little bit. I've actually changed my vice grips up as well. I find these smaller ones actually a bit easier to handle, truthfully, so hopefully we'll still get some good impressions with it. Probably less likely to tear the key as well, possibly, he says, possibly. So you can see that this cut here is getting a little bit deep, and what I want to make sure is that it doesn't get so deep that the size gets so high that pins get trapped in it. So using this half round file, I'm just going to start to take some of the ears off it to make it a little bit smoother like that. Can you see? A lot better. Okay, we just hit the hour mark, and hold on. Ooh, no way. Ha ha ha, we did it. That is stiff. I'm going to see whether I can just wiggle it back and forth and get some pin markings on there maybe. But I think we got it. That is amazing. It looks like the last... Yeah, can you see? There's a... Where's my file? Looks like we're a couple of strokes off on pin 5. You can just see the tip here, a bit of a mark. So I'm just going to do a little file. I'm going to just go along with a magnifying glass here, and just have a look down and see if there's anything else which looks a little bit overmarked, but actually, by the looks of things, that's all fine. So let's lock it back up, try again. That's, yeah, perfect. That's as smooth as butter. Let's release it from the vise. That is absolutely lovely. So I'm going to tidy the key up now, make it look all nice, and I'll be back in a second. So change of plans actually. I didn't clean up the this original key here that I impressioned. Actually going to keep that as a memento. I took another key which I'd previously started doing some impressioning on. You can see the draw marks there. And what I did is I just used a fine marker to trace around the impressioned key. And, you know, these older locks probably don't have as good tolerances as others, so I could get away with it. And then I just used the edge of a square file and made a key which looks, don't know about you, but I reckon that actually looks machine cut. But does it work? Well, yeah, I think both of these should work. So you've got one which is cut with a round file, and obviously that's the one we impressioned. And then this is the one which I traced that one around and then did a nice square cut finish. And that should work just as well too, which it does. So there you go. And this is the original key against the impressioned one. So this is a blank, and you can see what had to be filed away. Very cool if you ask me. So I'm going to stick all of these on the keychains. I've got a spare as well. If I ever want to get it professionally cut, it can look like this key as well. So yeah, all in all, I'm really, really happy with that. So taking this collectible bronze Esso Yale, from not having a key to having a really nice working key. Awesome. All right, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all next time.